The London Bookshop Affair by Louise Fine, published by William Morrow. And this is a dual timeline novel that essentially focuses on 1962 when the Cold War was raging. It also looks back to the era of World War II, and at the end, of course, we see how the two stories marry up. We focus on Celia, who is 19, living with her parents in Southwark, and they have quite a cool kind of household somehow. They're not very forthcoming. They obviously have their secrets and their past lives, and they're not sharing of that. So in a way, she has quite a kind of lonely existence, but next door is Sam, and he's quite a comfort. He's a nice young man, and they go to the cinema together. But there's something missing in her life, and she would like a career. She'd love a career at the BBC. And this is a story that has the backdrop, obviously, of the Cold War, but also what it was like for women and their aspirations in the era. Celia applies for a job at a bookshop. It's on the Strand, and it's a very sort of dusty, second-hand antiquarian place. And the owners eventually decide to sell, and in comes, in breezes, an American woman who takes over the ownership and pretty much lets Celia get on as she wants to. She doesn't seem particularly interested in the books, and there are a curious train of people coming in and out of the store, going up to her private apartments. Celia just gets on with her job. She then runs into someone called Septimus Nelson, who happens to be working as the right-hand man to the ambassador at the American embassy, and he starts to court her. We're not quite sure what his reasons for doing so are, but it does seem that he is attracted to her, and she to him, and they go out on dates, they have dinner and coffees, and they start to get to know each other, and that is lovely for her. But she does have a sense that maybe he's a bit of a rogue somewhere along the line. So this is very much a story of one woman's blossoming, moving on from naivety. The Cold War is something that people couldn't ignore at the time, because of course there was the Cuban Missile Crisis, and for a period each day might have been people's last, because the Russians had stationed their missiles in Cuba, the Americans were flexing their muscles, and London would have probably been the Russians' first target. So there's a real sense of insecurity. And what I love about this writer is she really pens a good, well thought out novel that really drew me in. I have read one of her previous books, and it's remained with me because it was the writing style and the storytelling that really brought the era to life. And this is what she does this time round. It's a very engaging novel that I didn't really want to put down, and that's always the sign of a good book. So if you are looking for a good read, The London Bookshop Affair, of course there are books involved, by Louise Fine, is certainly one to put on your list. I really enjoyed it and would recommend it to you.